I want to make sure now that I've got myself all corrected here. It's the Huffman Hurricanes and the Bessemer Tigers. So, you know, this is ought to be an exciting one. Now, I want to tell you, parents, you got to bear with me a little bit. You know, as you can see by the C's on my chest, I do this for Clay Chalkwell High School, and the way those guys fold up their jersey sometimes is difficult for me. These little guys out on the field, it takes a lot to see. I do wear bifocals, so let's have some fun with this. And this is ought to be a good one here. These teams have been fighting it out all year to get to this point. And the key thing here is what they're going to learn growing up and having some fun with it. So we're going to peep out here as they're getting lined up. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize, you know, you see coaches on the field, you got to have them there at that age so that they can help those little guys out. So they're all lined up at the 30-yard line, and Bessemer will be on offense to start the contest. Coaches are getting the defenses lined up. Like I said, at this age, they're about as disorganized as I was this morning. I mean, these are, you got to understand, they're 5 years old, and if you've got a 5-year-old in your house, you understand what's going on here.
And it's cold too.
Yes, and it's absolutely freezing outside. So I give those little guys credit for being tougher than me. It looks like we got the clock set.
Looks like Bessemer might be in almost every game except one this championship weekend.
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't know what they're doing down there in Bessemer, but whatever they're doing, they should bottle it and sell it to the rest of Birmingham.
Well, you know, I'm looking at one of the players down there, little number 24 for the Tigers. He's down there dancing, and I don't blame him. I do that too to stay warm. I can tell you, I get AARP mail, so trying to keep my bones in order is, you know, it's kind of tough.
You got to tell these kids they're cold. They're hardcore now in football season. So.
Well, the upshot to this is that they're out of school next week. So it's Thanksgiving weekend. So, you know, what a great way to start off your holiday week by, you know, playing in a championship game, hopefully taking home a championship. You know, somebody's got to lose.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part because these little guys are winners. I don't care what side you're on.
And on the flip side, it's not a good way to start your weekend, freezing your buttocks off and then getting sick and being sick for Thanksgiving. Thank you, Mother Nature.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Now I know you're from the island country.
Yeah. We ain't built for this. That's why I'm not on the field right now. Let it get at least above 40, and I'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm a military brat. Colorado, Oklahoma, Germany. So I was always out there in the cold. So I guess it doesn't really bother me any. I know to dress in layers.
Yes.
And go out there and deal with it. When I was in the military, true story. I had friends that were in graves registers, so I had a body bag. Those things keep you warm. I just made sure I rubbed the U.S. off of it so nobody thought I was deceased. But you did what you had to do. So I think they may have it sorted out, and we might actually have this thing underway.
Yeah, it looked like it would be 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of the. Looked like Bessemer is on the right-hand side, and Huffman is on the left.
That's right. Bessemer starting off the contest. They're actually going to be going east to west. And here we go. There's a handoff. They find a little room up the middle, and he is tripped up at the last second, but it's going to net a first down for the Tigers.
That'll be a first down at the 41-yard line.
And little number 1 right there found him a nice hole up the middle. But credit to the Huffman defense because they got the shoestring tackle to prevent what likely would have been a score. So it's 1st and 10 at the 41 for the Tigers. And that's a great way to start off the contest positive. There's the other handoff right there looking for some room up the middle. Huffman's defense answers the bell. That looked like number 26 in there jamming it up for the Hurricanes.
He still picked up about a yard on the play, looks like, about a yard and a half. So it looks like it'll still be, what, 2nd down?
Yeah, it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Tigers.
42.
And And this is where you kind of keep coaching them up along the way. I've seen a little bit of film on Bessemer, and they're going to look for some room off to their left. And he's going to be run down quickly before he gets away by the Huffman defender. Can't make out that jersey number. It could be a 6, it could be an 8 that brought him down. Nonetheless, solid gain on the play of 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 4 for the Tigers. They're near midfield. Ball is spotted at the 47-yard line. 3rd down for the Tigers, and here they go again, looking for some room right there. Number 3, the ball carrier, and he has some room to his right, and he has no one in front of him. Let's see how far he gets. He's still on his feet. He's riding the rope on the sideline, makes a move. He's still going, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Tigers, it appears. And they're going to say he stepped out of bounds right at about, let's see, the 23-yard line. And that's where the ball is going to be spotted. Solid gain for the Tigers. A big play. Finding some room to his right, and he is moving about. Those parents have got to be excited down there watching their babies below. So it's 1st down for the Tigers. Ball at the 23. Well into Hurricane territory. So Bessemer gets set again. Let's see if they try the edge one more time. This time they go right up the middle. He steps out to his left, still on his feet, breaks a tackle. Oh, he has one man to beat, and he is going to get it to the end zone, and the Tigers get on the board first.
Touchdown, Bessemer. He's dancing in the end zone, baby.
Absolutely. And that appeared to be number 1 for the Tigers once again. We're probably going to hear a lot from him during the contest from what I can see. Oh, he has one man to beat, and he is going to get it to the end zone, and the Tigers get on the board first. Well, there he goes.
Dancing in the end zone, baby.
My knees wouldn't hold up like that anymore. That's a no-go in my book for me, but it's great seeing the kids do it. So Bessemer gets set for the extra point attempt.
Looks like they're going to go for 2.
Well, I mean, are they going to kick? Bessemer looks for a little run, finds some on the right hand. The extra point attempt is good.
2 points.
And the coaches are excited as well. So let's see what happens now as Huffman has a chance to get on offense. Let's see what the Bessemer defense can do. Like I said, this was a really exciting start to the game. We're 6:08 remaining in the first quarter of play. As the coaches work to get their teams. Now something, fans, you got to understand, at this age there's a lot of setup that goes into this at the younger ages. And we want to give credit to our officials because they do a great job of helping the players get set up and helping them understand the rules. Like I said, they're 5. And this happens even with the 6, and you can go on up to even the 7 and 8-year-olds. You know, I've often said sometimes they have the attention span of a gnat. But they work really hard with the kids to make sure that they're not only having a safe contest, but they're having a fun time while they're at it. So the Hurricanes are getting lined up. The coaches are getting the Bessemer defense lined up. Coaches calling in from the sideline, letting the players know what they need to do. The Bessemer defense makes some adjustments on the edge here.
It's amazing how they can get these young kids, 5-year-olds, to do this.
But they can't get them to clean their room.
No.
Okay, the play is blown dead before it starts. So we'll wait the call from the officials.
You can get them to learn the blitz, all these other formations, but you can't get them to clean their room.
Okay, so it looks like we've got a false start against the Hurricanes, and that cost them 5 yards. So it'll be 1st and 15 for Huffman.
And they look like they're at the 25-yard line. 1st and 15 at the 25-yard line.
One of the things, you know, and this is a tough one. I mean, kids are fidgety anyway. So you're trying to get them to understand, be absolutely still and wait for the snap count. And that's really, at this age, that's primarily what you want to teach them. I always said that the plays are a bonus. And I've coached in youth ball before. I've had the privilege of coaching up at the middle school level. But, it's those little things that make a difference. And there goes Huffman looking for some room. He bounces it out to his right. Has no one in front of him. He's got enough. He's got enough for the first down. And there is a flag on the play. And we'll await the official's call. Right now, all indications are first down for the Hurricanes. And we'll see what the call is. As it stands right now, the ball is spotted at the 42-yard line. We have some discussion on the field. It's a face mask against the Tigers, and we'll find out if it's the 5 or 15 variety. And it's the 5-yard variety. So it's what do you call it, like an incidental.
Yeah.
He didn't. He didn't try to unscrew the lid on the mayonnaise jar.
So it'll be first and.
It'll be first and 5, and the ball is now spotted at the 47-yard line. And the one thing you've got to watch out for, even in these games, is penalties. Penalties can eat you up when you least need it. Bessemer defense swarming, and there is nothing but Tigers surrounding the Hurricane ball carrier.
Lost some yards on that play.
Yeah, it looks like you lost about 2. So it'll be 2nd and 7. And I'm getting ready to be joined by my former assistant head coach and counterpart. Oh my goodness, now I feel spoiled. While he's getting himself together, I'll let him introduce himself. Hurricanes are lined up. They've lost some yardage, so it's going to be 2nd and 7 for the Hurricanes. Ball spotted at the 45-yard line. Bessemer defense swarming in. Delayed on the handoff, some miscommunication. Huffman players running backwards, but he finds some room to his left. Has one man to beat, and he is going to run the ropes unless he gets caught. And that's going to be a first down for the Hurricanes. So the guys on the sticks have to go for a jog well into Tiger territory. The ball is going to be spotted at the 24-yard line. Big play after what looked like could be a tremendous loss for the Hurricanes. The little guy finds some room and rides the tightrope. So now that they get those guys settled, now I guarantee you the Tiger coaches have to be a little bit disheartened after that one, because for sure they had a huge loss. They were staring down on that previous play. But the Huffman ball carrier turns on the jets. He gets them well into Tiger territory, keeping the drive alive. Huffman ball carrier cuts it back inside, and he is going to meet the boomstick by the Tiger defender. Big hit.
Yes.
I think you've heard that before, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right. Big hit. That was a huge tackle. Huge tackle. Don't know who the kid is, but I guarantee his dad happy at this point in time.
Absolutely. He definitely bought the lumber on that one.
Well, for y'all who don't know my voice, I'm Darius Little Lucky Leroy Collins. Coming in to help out my good friend Freddie Flowers here.
Absolutely. We're gonna slide you into the camera view here a little bit. I can't have you out there trying to hide.
Well, you know I'm camera shy. That's how it is with fat folks.
I think we all get fat as we get older.
Oh man, don't tell my age.
Hey, I already told him I get ARP mail. All right. So Huffman tries a little bit up the middle. Not much happening on that one, if anything.
Yeah, it seemed like Adamsville front seven is kind of stout though.
It absolutely is. Both teams have been working the edges since the start of the contest. And it's going to bring up third down, loss of about a yard on the play.
I promise you, I love watching the little kids play at this age.
Oh, absolutely. This is a blast. Now, I already warned the parents that are watching. First off, I AARP male. Number two, I wear bifocals. They're so small at that level. I mean, even at the high school level, sometimes you miss a number. So it's definitely tough here. And Huffman goes up the middle once again. Now, I got to admit, I'm a bit surprised at that one, given the success they've had on the edges.
Yeah, I'm looking for a play action sometime soon. Something to get to the outside, something to get out in that C gap.
Well, this is a huge fourth down for the Hurricanes. They're down 8-0.
Yeah,
And
like
got a buck and some change left in the first quarter of play.
yeah, with a fourth down at 10, that coach got to be scratching his head at this present time.
You know, I could conceive, and they're going in the direction I thought they were. I thought they might try to go to the left because they had a lot of room to the right, and I think they were trying to throw him off a little bit and go off tackle, but that went nowhere. So the Tiger defense holds, and the offense comes back out onto the field.
Yeah, it seems like the Miami Beach Hurricanes here, they got to bring that defense on in one good time. Well, you know, that's what they go by. They go by Miami Beach. Huffman Miami Beach Hurricanes.
Yeah, down the road, they like to think of themselves as the U.
Well, you got the U versus the U. You know, the University of Adamsville versus the University of Huffman.
That's it, exactly.
We got college football on a Sunday.
You got that right. I tell you what, and here's, you know, I wouldn't be surprised there's a couple of those little Hurricanes down there that I know that are going to go up eventually. If they're still there, they're going to be Vikings wearing those same colors. So it's kind of nice to see what's happening here, kind of see what the future holds, and you know, at watching these kids grow.
Yes.
And I'm also giving away my age now.
So it's great to watch it from a small age all the way up to high school.
Yeah, we've got something that we coached at.
We got something we coach that's 11th to 12th grade or better.
Absolutely.
Like we got a flag on the play there.
And we got a false start against the Tigers. That's going to cost them 5 yards. So it'll be first and 15 from the 20 as they walk it back. Pardon me, that'll be the 19. Coaches trying to have a discussion with the refs, talking about offsides. And I got to admit, you know, the officials are calling a pretty tight game here. And you know, when you're 5 years old, that's the only way you're really going to learn. You know, you can say, hey, they're babies. That's how you learn. You know, hey, you make a mistake, you pay the price.
I agree with you on that.
Okay, here come the Tigers once again.
Oh, he got the
takes one. And this kid right here, I've seen him run before. Nobody's going to catch him by all accounts. Number 3 heading down. And he breaks off to his right, feeling the heat behind him. And the Tigers once again with another big play.
Well, you had to tell that somebody's been working with him. That cut at the 15-yard line was,
right here,
oh my God. That was a small move. That was a veteran move. Yeah.
Number 3 heading down. And he breaks off to his right.
That cut to get him off his heels.
And the Tigers once again with another big play. And the Huffman coaches have got to be trying to figure out how to protect those edges. Because, and you had just got up here, you know, the Tigers are wearing them out left and right.
Okay.
Up the middle, you know, they had a decent run up the middle for 11 yards. The Huffman defense kind of closed that gate. But left and right, Bessemer's been working them. So the Huffman coaches are probably going to have a little discussion with the guys. To one, you know, you can over pursue. And you know the key is stay home, right, so that you can move into position. As you can see now, he stayed home, but number 3 puts the shake move on him, and they get the conversion.
Well, you got a phenomenal running back. That number 3, from what I'm seeing right now, he's what you would call amazing.
Yes, but he's not the only one they have. Number 1 on their side's got a jetpack on his back as well. And he showed out for the first score for the Tigers. So right now, Huffman's down 16-0. Now, the biggest thing is, and you know, they're 5 years old. So at distance, I would say almost that the coaches have to do what they need to do to maintain their composure, because that translates to the boys. Wouldn't you agree?
I definitely agree with that. You're going to have some coaching adjustments at this time. At this time, that's what you definitely have to get to the sideline. Your defensive coordinator and your other coaches have to talk about it. Get everything lined up correctly. Let's find a way to slow down this number 3, this number 1, this dual threat.
So they're getting the ball set at the 30-yard line. Bessemer. Nah, no worries. I was way off earlier. That's wrong rosters. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't have rosters for this group. But that's okay. That's part of the fun about all this. You know, you get up on a Sunday morning, you've been going all week, and you kind of, and it's nice for me to be up here calling a game because, you know, we got to go home a little early over there at Clay Chalker.
Yeah. So, heard about it. Unfortunately, wasn't able to see the game, but heard about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. We went home a little early at Trustful as well.
So
we had we ran into a buzzsaw they called Huffman.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love my folks over there here at Trustful, but I'm just leaving it there.
Trust me, I understand. I know what you're thinking because we have a lot of conversations going on and a lot of side ideas going on. So let's just wait and see what the future holds. I guess put it like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we love the Huskies. We love our Cougars, obviously. All right, and the Tiger defense is just, my goodness, they are just getting in the backfield.
Yes, those Tigers are ferocious.
It's, you know, now the last time that happened, the Huffman ball carrier was able to swing it out and get a huge gain, but they were stymied about the 20-yard line. Once again, you find a Huffman offensive line just getting blown through. And one of the toughest things to coach is line play at this age.
Right. The correct way of blocking, hand placement, foot movement. You know, at this age, pretty much the bigger, powerful kid's going to win. But if you can get a little technique in, it'll be great. Now, I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be a little side note of mine. I love watching the kids play at this age, but I also love watching the sideline activity. The kids on the sideline, oh, my God, you got to love them.
Oh, absolutely. I think one of them was hopping around like a frog. I had some dancing going on earlier. One of them was doing a shake I hadn't seen before. So, you know, there's always something for me to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Not try. Just learn what it is, because I'm too old to try any of that stuff.
Hey, trust me, I understand. I give you a little quick side story. When I was coaching, we'll just say some years back at Pleasant Grove, my 5- and 6-year-old team would come to the sideline every game and find the kids playing with toys on the sideline. Little wrestling meeting. How they got them on the field, we found at the end of the year. They were sticking them inside their thigh pads.
Well, you know, they're going to do something. I mean, I've had kids chase frogs, butterflies. I've had one that found a big, you know, said we had roaches. Because it was one of them big water bugs, you know. We had roaches out at Clay. That Clay had roaches in the stadium. I was like, I mean, what do you do?
You don't do much. You just, hey, I guess you just let them kid be kid.
That's all you do. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, they're there. They're thinking about the game, but I can promise you, they're probably thinking about Christmas too.
Yeah. At this point, they don't care if they win or they lose. They're just trying to have a good time.
Now, I guarantee you, when you get to the older age groups, that mentality's going to change.
Yeah, it's going to be a vicious one when you get to that 11 and 12 tonight.
Oh, yes. It absolutely will be. And I'm looking forward to that one. That ought to be wow. Just simply wow.
That front seven of Bessemer is overpowering. That was a gang tackle. And we would call it...
With emphasis on the gang part.
Yes, a coach's meeting on the quarterback. Team meeting.
Yeah, you know, I think this is one of those moments because we're already into the second quarter. I would say to take a timeout. That would just be me. Take the timeout, get the boys settled down, talk to them, because there's no. And once again, now they're back to the 10-yard line.
You're right. I mean, you got to take a timeout.
So, yeah, they've got to punt on this one. There's no getting around that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take these timeouts to the second half with you, so you won't have 6. You ain't got but 3, so you might as well use them.
Right, and talk to your kids, get them settled down, try to do something a little bit different. And this is where you get the opportunity to coach them up.
That's right.
I mean, they're there for the taking. Take the timeouts.
That's right. I mean, you're going to have to make an adjustment. As you see coming on the field, Bessemer sending the big hogs out.
Oh, yeah, you know what's about to happen. I'm looking at that number 73. Now, I don't know what they're feeding the kid.
But we know he's eating good.
It looks like he's going to be eating good Thursday, too.
Oh, that's right. It sounds like that number 60. I like the way his enthusiasm, his walking. He look like he's really ready to put on some work.
No, he ain't walking. He's strutting.
Oh, my mistake. He's got the big strut going on.
He's strutting out onto the field. He put a little shake on. Look at that big 73. He hopped right on up there, and that's your center.
Oh my God, that's a big guy. Like Huffman called the timeout there. Huffman called the timeout.
And that's a smart move, because you look at the big plays that's happened so far.
Yeah,
and I'm looking to see how they're going to set this defense up.
And see, that's me. At this time, you got to use timeouts, make an adjustment. You don't want to go down 3 scores going in the third quarter.
Absolutely not. Now, one thing that kids do know, because they play a lot of video games, okay, 16-0. You let that get to 20-40 going into the half. Those kids, they watch the scoreboard a little bit. Coach to coach. How do you keep that mentality on the positive, knowing that there's a whole second half of play?
Well, that's hard. That's going to be hard. But you got to you're going to have to try to keep them motivated. But at the same time, you have to, as a coach, you have to find a way to show something positive. You got to have something positive to lean on this drive.
So let's see what happens here. All right, now, and you said something positive happening, and there it is.
That's your first positive play.
The Huffman defense gets after it. Bessemer looks for a little room up the middle, loses a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11. The ball's going to be spotted at the 39-yard line as a result of that play.
And see, like I said, that's something positive you can lean your head on.
Right. Now, what do you notice about the Huffman defense? You notice they've got those backers spread out just a little bit.
Yeah, they done went to that old 4-4.
Okay.
But that cornerback bit. That cornerback bit inside, but he did come back and redeem himself. I can't see his number. I can't see his number at this time. But the cornerback on I guess you could say the near sideline.
But it's a huge gain for him. It's going to result in a 3rd and 4, so a gain of 7 on the play. And this is a huge 3rd down. You get to stop here, get them in a 4th down position. Do you blitz? Do you try to stay settled in and meet the play and keep it to no gain?
Well, they're going to their money man. And there he goes. They was going to the money man.
Yep. And they're going to get a 1st down out of that play. Looks like they're going to get to the 28-yard line, so that's going to move the sticks. And it's going to net a 1st down for the Tigers.
Now, here's the next question. Do you try to use a timeout now to save a little clock? And not save a little clock, but settle your defense down some more, make some more adjustments. Like we said, you can't go down 24. We know they're not kicking field goals.
No, they're not. And watching what they're doing, I kind of see a little bit of, kind of loading the box. And I would actually say that they're probably a little bit naked given the way that they've been eating up off. Well, there it goes up the middle. And he bounces it outside. There's that number 1 I was talking about, those shifty moves. He's still on his feet. To the corner, he's going to go out of bounds around the 5-yard line.
Oh, man, that footwork was outstanding.
Now you know what I was talking about that number 1.
Somebody's doing some footwork drill. Somebody working that out.
That's one of those, I would call that replay worthy. Old man Chris Berman from ESPN.
Oh, man, that footwork was outstanding. That's exactly what it was. It was a whoop moment.
Putting a stiff arm out there, following his blockers, that is textbook running.
Yes.
That kid's got a future.
That's right. You may see him on ESPN soon.
There he goes, up the middle again. There he goes, stays on his feet.
Oh, he's in.
Going to get into the end zone.
He's in.
You saw the same thing right there, patience.
Yes.
And I always said a patient runner is a dangerous runner.
And along with that jump cut, the jump cut at the 3, oh man, he set some things up with that. He really did.
Now, you know he reminded me of, although we didn't see it in the Parker Clay game, because that was a defensive attrition game. I've seen Khalifa Keith with Parker. He runs that way. Our own Aaron Osley runs that way. Terrell West ran that way.
Yeah, I definitely give you that. I definitely can give you that. And I tell you, Khalifa, what shocks me most about Khalifa, his size.
Oh gosh, that's a man child.
Oh man, I've seen
it. 6'2", 210?
Oh, actually 218 now.
Oh, 218. Okay.
218. I had a chance to talk with him. For y'all who don't know, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this shout out. We do a lot of training. I don't, but my kids and a lot of kids do. And Stephen Leonard step-by-step training on the Port of Madrid. And that's why I ran into Khalifa. And to see this guy walk around with no shirt on, he made me go back to the gym.
And speaking of that, Brian Robinson, when he was at Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, and I saw him as a sophomore, I was like, you got to be kidding me. So, and that game was, I think it ended up being 44-41, and we won it. But I won't tell you how many yards. I needed an abacus to keep up. One Chinese abacus. Well, there it goes. They're going for the conversion. And number 3 pounds it right on in. So the conversion's good. So the Tigers are going to go up 24-0 over the Hurricanes. Boy, we won it.
Oh, man. I tell you, Bessemer got a two-headed monster. Bessemer really has a two-headed monster with this offense. But we got to give a big shout out. I know we give them a lot of praise to number 1 and number 3. But that line up front,
oh my gosh,
the blocking up front is great. You cannot beat that blocking.
And you can hear the fans out there. If you can pick it up, if they pick it up on the microphones, they're too sweet. You gotta love it.
You got to love it.
I almost wish that the setup here in the booth worked so you could get the fans something outside. I'll give them a little bit of that Clay Chalkville flavor.
Listen, oh, we got another. I'm not going to do your saying.
I wouldn't do that. No. But there's certain things that are trademarked only for that stadium.
I understand that. I definitely understand. But I'll tell you one thing, watching this backfield together, it put me, I'm going to tell my age here, but it put me in the mindset of the Raiders' old backfield with Marcus Allen, Bo Jackson, and the power, speed, quickness that they have together with these two backs.
Yeah, and that's a good reference. That's a great analogy. Some of your youngsters out there, y'all probably don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But basically, you kind of had a thunder and lightning setup.
Right.
You had somebody that could literally beat the line up, and then also get out there and take off in a hurry.
And we say some of them youngsters, we talking about some of your parents too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, your parents. Look, these are parents of 5- and 6-year-olds, okay? I got 5- and 6-year-old grandkids, respectively.
Yeah. Well, I'm blessed not to having the grandkids just yet. But if I did, they'll probably be about 5 or 6.
Yeah, I got kids in the 30 club, so I'm just thankful to God's grace that He's allowed me to see all of this and have some fun with it. The Hurricanes just can't seem to get anything going. the Tiger defense is just owning the middle of the line.
That's right. It seemed like it was a fumble on the snap that time, Fred.
Yeah, I don't doubt that there was. And look, that's a lot of that happens at this age. It doesn't appear that there's any turnover. Short, small loss on the play, about a half a yard.
We're looking at about 3:10 left on this clock. 3 and some change. So I wonder what Huffman going to come up with.
Well, the coaches are sitting there talking to him. Line coach talking to him. So you got 1 under center, 3 in the backfield. And basically what you got a 1-2 and an extra blocker back there. And they really do need the help. And that play falls apart as well. Now, when you're getting that kind of penetration, you're the kids on the line.
Yes.
And you're trying to figure out, hey, how am I going to beat these guys?
Well, if I was a coach of Huffman right now, the first thing I would do, it's a number 44 that's playing for Bessemer. Like he's over the left guard, but he's shooting the gap, and he's the one causing all this disruption. They got to find a way to stop this number 44. Don't know the kid's name, but hey, the kid is playing some ball.
No, absolutely. And then you got, looks like a 0 on the outside too. Here he comes. Doesn't I tell you 0? 0 got back there, forced him to kind of bubble out. Nonetheless, Huffman manages to get a nice gain out of the play. But that number 0 back there forced him to bubble out about 3 yards deep before he could turn and get a positive gain. So let's say that he was kicked out on a nice block. That's a first down, maybe more.
You're right.
So
You're right.
Those are those little things that Huffman's got to get control of. And when you have your line sitting there, obviously you teach them to read. You see who's up in the standing position. There's 0.
Yeah,
it's like number 50 over there as well.
Yeah, there's some players from Bessemer that you're going to have to be very, very accountable of. Because like I said, we know it's the 44. We know it's the 0. You see the 50. They got another one just walked to the wide side that went down with the orange cleats on.
Right. Now you look at a little bit of footwork on Huffman's line, and we're looking at the near side from our view. You notice his feet is square. He's got to learn to get one of those feet back so he's not getting pushed back on the initial drive of the defense.
That's right.
And I think that's kind of what I'm seeing happening is they're kind of squatting on the ball a little bit. So when the defense has the advantage because they're up, they're in the up position, so they get the push. And when your feet are squared up, you kind of become like a rocking chair. You just go backwards.
Right. You need to sit. They need to learn how to sit on their heels. However, we had a turnover just then, and shocking to know, number 44 on the cover.
you called it, brother.
Hey, that's just like I said.
1:36 remaining in the first half, and I promise you, the Tigers are chomping at the bit. Just the fact that, and I've seen a little bit of the Hurricanes this year, and they're a very good football team. I'm shocked. I'm stunned by what I'm seeing. You watch some film on these teams. You try to get to know them. You keep up with youth ball because it's just fun to do it. I'm surprised at where this is, and the fact that this has the potential to be 32-0 in the first half. The word of the day is flabbergasted.
And I can agree with you on that. I've seen Huffman play, caught a couple of videos on, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm on Battlefield, so I do watch a little stuff on Battlefield, on Facebook, so.
Oh, I just, look, some of the clowning, them and even on the EYFL site, the clowning that goes on is something else.
Oh yes, I admit, man, some of y'all parents are hilarious. However, let's make sure we always keep it friendly. It's about the kids.
Friendly. It's about sportsmanship and it's about the kids. I'll be the first to say, some of y'all need to sit out.
Oh, yeah. Some of y'all need to go back And I'll drink some tea.
That's it. That's it exactly. But hey, it's all in good fun. At the end of the day, it's about the growth of these kids, and as I've always said, it's the safety and about them learning the elements of the game, because that's what's most important. So here we go again. This is, I can't stress this enough, this is going to be huge for the Huffman defense. And
like we had a penalty on the play.
Obviously, they had an illegal substitution on the field, and that's that one at this age, that's on the coaches.
Yeah, that's all coaching.
That's not on the kids. And what you want to happen is for them to go in, get these little guys settled down, keep it positive. Well, here we go.
Oh, like
they
they waved it
right
off.
Back. There's your false start. So,
so let's start it back over. 1-10, 1:36 left. So what you think, Mr. Flowers? How you feel these coaches going to make this move?
Well, one of the biggest things is controlling the middle of the line. Huffman has proven they can get outside. So I'm surprised they're not trying to work the edges more. It's not out of the realm of possibility to teach the kids to slide. Huffman got some penetration on that one. Now, this is where you know that they're feeling confident. Did you see that? They put the ball in the air.
Right, at 5 years old, it's not many.
They feeling themselves.
Yes. It's far in between at 5 you throw the ball.
But hey, I got a 24-0 lead. I'm getting ready to go into the half.
Hey, might as well pull out all the stops, right?
Right. Now Huffman gets the ball to start the second half.
Okay.
But the keys to me is getting control of the middle of the line, understanding what you have on the outside, not out of the realm of teaching the kids to slide when they're blocking, to the flow of the play, to create that wall. Snap comes loose, and the Huffman, the ball is still loose, and Huffman gets on top of it. Now that's how you want to go into the half with something positive.
And that is one positive step. So we could be looking at a good second half here.
So you go in with something positive, you talk about those things. So we talked about getting control of the middle of the line, working the edges, because they've proven they've done that. They could do that. They've demonstrated they have the speed, because when they've been forced to bubble out because of defensive penetration, they're still getting chunks of positive yardage. See, if they can get the blocking right, it'll take off like a rocket for them. And as far as the defense is concerned, they've got to control the edges.
Yes.
And be patient in the middle.
Well,
and square up.
And I think most importantly, they got to hope number 1 and number 3 get a stomach at halftime.
Absolutely. Ball comes loose once again.
Another fumble.
All right, now all I'm trying to do is figure out who pumped the brakes with a minute and some change left in the half.
That's a good question.
The clock has had a hard time moving in the last minute and a half. We've got fumbles, we've got penalties, we got everything going on. And that ball has been at their 50-yard line like it settled in for a Thanksgiving visit.
And I can tell you, hey, to be honest with you, I can tell you as a referee, personally, this last minute and a half, it will drive you nuts. It really will drive you nuts on time.
Yeah, it will. I've been in some games that have gone on and on and on. And we've got a timeout by Huffman.
Now, I tell you one thing, Coach Fred, I don't know if you noticed this. One thing I got to give a lot of shots out to a Bessemer coaching staff for. They called timeout, and the kids automatically went to a knee. No questions.
That's absolutely right. That is huge right there. That's teaching those ABCs and 1, 2, 3s.
Yes, sir. That's 100% discipline. 100% discipline. That's why you see the score you see right now.
Absolutely. Now, here's the other thing you notice. Hey, they call it, look at those adjustments that he's making.
Oh, yeah. That coaching staff is working.
They know, and not only are they getting them in a position, getting them squared up, but they're in that ear hole.
Yes.
Making sure they understand exactly where to go. as individuals, each individual play. So that is huge in itself.
You're right. And I gotta say it one time for all my friends down in Bessemer before they start texting me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, want to give a shout out to Big Bessemer as they call themselves.
And there goes number 3 once again, cuts it back.
Oh my God.
Oh, now you know you're not supposed to do that. And he is going to lose the yardage. Now that is a no.
But now here's the funny part. And I got a referee up here keeping the clock with me. He gonna look at me crazy and probably start laughing when I say this. But he landed on top of that guy and his knees never touched the ground. So he really wasn't down.
He wasn't.
And you looking at number 3 that wasn't down with a lot of green on the side of him.
That's absolutely right.
That's a lot of landscape for a young man.
But one of the things, and I'm sure that coach, as he hit down there right now, he is having a long discussion with number 3 because he had almost 10 yards on that play. Okay.
Yes.
So he had gotten about 7 or 8 yards and turned it backwards for a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, that's painful. That's painful. That's a conversation you probably have at halftime.
And that energizes the defense because they got really what they got was another chance.
So let's be honest. Do you give it back to number 3 or do you give it to number 1 this time?
Oh, you give it back to number 3. I mean, you talk to him and say, hey, look, man, let's work on this. I understand, keep the positive yards. And you see this in high school as well. You even see it in college. I forgot what D3 school I was watching this weekend, and there he goes once again. Number 3 finds some room to his left, has one man to beat, keeps his feet, has another man to beat. Nope. He's going to ride that tightrope down the sideline, and he's going to cruise into the end zone. There is a flag on the field around the 25-yard line, and that's usually a sign of holding.
Either holding or, at this age, you don't want to say it, but it may be a blindside block, blocking it back. Something simple. But we just get 10 yards from the spot.
So we'll see what happens there. But the Huffman defense, once again, they're kind of taking an angled approach.
Right.
Instead of sliding in position and forcing him to, one of the things is, and you watch them run, and watch number 1 run, where they do the jump cut.
Yes.
Well, if you're squared up on them and they're forced to do the jump cut, that's a lot better than having them just take off on an angle and gain speed and wrap that edge to keep on going.
And one thing you can't teach at this age, at 5, is angle drills. So, I mean, you took bad angles, but at 5 years old, you should expect bad angles. And but this kid number 3, man, I'm truly impressed.
Like I said, they got, we called it. There's a 2-headed monster back there. And, we've taught this. Hey, if you got a guy squared up on him, he's got to make a jump cut. Time is everything. Time is on your side. So if you buy a second, buy 2 seconds, that allows your defense to catch up the pursuit. Another broken tackle by number 3. He just spins and shakes it off. He's going to his right, and there's that angle we talked about, and he's stretching it out. Breaks the tackle, and he's going to get there right at the pylon, and that's another touchdown for the Tigers.
Did you see the stiff arm, man? Look at the kid dance.
Hit it with 0. Another broken tackle by number 3. He just spins and shakes it off.
Maybe the best move he has.
He's going to his right. There's that angle we talked about, and he's stretching it out.
Oh, nice power with the stiff arm.
And he's going to
and you got to show the dance. Please show the dance.
And that's another touchdown for
There you go.
There you go. So we're at halftime now. Obviously, they get to try for the conversion. Had some positive things going on. So they're getting ready for the conversion. Let's see what happens here. If they can stop the conversion, you go in with something positive. You focus on what they did positive defensively on getting the turnover. You try to take the positives away. Hey, we have positive games. They put it in the air and completed it. Did not tell you they were feeling themselves.
They just deflated the balloon a little bit. Now, one thing I hope the coaches don't go in and broad bash the kids.
You can't do that. I mean, they're fine.
Yeah, so just keep them lifted up. Still got a second half. If they can do 32, you can do 32 as well.
That's right. Well, folks, we're getting ready to go into the halftime here, and they got a little show that they're getting ready to put on. We look forward to an exciting second half of play. I don't think Huffman's done yet. I think they're going to make some adjustments, and hopefully we'll see some positive things come out of it.
That's right. I think the second half is going to be very delightful. It's time to make some adjustments, and I think everything's going to work out pretty good.
So we'll be back on the second half, folks. I'm glad to see my boy Leroy.
It's good to see you too, Coach Fred.
Absolutely.
You can live a pain-free life. At M3, we help you move well, live well, and do amazing things. You're an expert on what moves you. We use our knowledge and experience to help you move well, live well, and do amazing things. You deserve care that's designed specifically for you. At M3, you are our focus. We help you move well, live well, and do amazing things. You use your hands to do a lot. We use our hands to help you move well, live well, and do amazing things.
It's time to face some adversity. Look around you. You are here now, in the present time of greatness. I stand here, I look into your eyes, and I feel the spirit of a warrior. I feel the spirit of a gladiator. You have not come this far to come this far. You have not sacrificed the hours, days, weeks, months to taste defeat. You have the warrior spirit in your soul. You have the warrior mindset. And you owe it to your brother. Standing right next to you. I want you to lock arms, lock hands for the next 4 quarters of your life. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna make mistakes. But you're also gonna get the opportunity to right those wrongs and bounce back from those mistakes. When you fall, get back up. Rise. And that's why this is the greatest game on earth.
Quick analysis of the first half, and we talked about this a little bit as we closed the second quarter out. Huffman has to get control of that front four, control the trenches. They've got to control the trenches. Bessemer has, I was just going to say it, they cakewalked through there most of the time, and they've got to work the edges. Let's see what their offense does. And it looks like they tried to go off tackle a little bit.
Yeah.
But they're not getting that penetration. They've got to stretch the field. They've had success with that. So I would expect them to go ahead and stretch the field this go around from an offensive adjustment standpoint. So no gain on the play to open the second half. At 2nd and 10, ball spotted at the 45-yard line.
And I'm going to be honest with you. Old coach told me, it's just like algebra. You always do the opposite. And Bessemer, big Bessemer, is playing big boy ball inside. So you got to use the speed to get outside.
Now, we just said this, that, you know, if you're going up. Now, one of the things I'm noticing is the timing on the between the handoff and the play execution. I guess it just seems that the timing that is taking too long for it to develop, which is giving the defense time to tee up and tee off.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to run almost a sprint draw type of deal. You know, it's almost like a sprint draw type of setup. To see a big Bessemer going to get out of position.
Right, so let's watch this here and see what happens. There he cuts it back inside. He has some room. Finally, Huffman finds that room we've been talking about, working the edge. Only has one man to beat, stays on his feet. Number one's trying to run him down, but he's not going to make it. That is a touchdown for the Hurricanes.
They actually took him to Miami Beach.
He cuts it back inside. He has some room. Finally, Huffman finds that room we've been talking about, working the edge. Only has one man to beat, stays on his feet. Number one's trying to run him down, but he's not going to make it. That is a touchdown for the Hurricanes. Is that a number 2 on that jersey? Either way, that is how you want to start the second half of play. That's how you start that positive movement. Let's see what happens on the conversion here.
And you got to admit, that was a nice counter.
Absolutely.
At the time. Nice counter at the correct time to run it. And that kid first cut, hey, great footwork. Great footwork.
Now, maybe it was me, but you remember when we were coaching together, you know my love of zone blocking.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That line looked like it slid just right, created the gap. The runner got in and took advantage of the daylight.
That he did. Nice cut.
Once again, the Tiger defense.
And back on that big number 0. The big 0 in the middle again.
Yep, you know it. That's it. They're going to have to find an answer somewhere. Like I said, that algebra problem.
Yes.
And I was terrible at math in school. And now I use more math than I ever thought I would in the construction industry.
Hey, that's the only thing got me good in math. The coach kept pounding on me, saying, hey, with algebra, if you want to do a plus, you do a minus. You multiply, you do division.
Hey, you know what helped me straighten that out? I remember when I bounced my first check somewhere back in 1990, and they charged me that fee. My math was straight ever since then. I was It took one time. That was it.
What's that? One extra unused $35. It will hurt you.
Well, back then I think it was 10, but I still didn't like it. So Bessemer getting lined up now. Defensive adjustments, coach. Based on what you've seen thus far, what do you think?
Well, based on what I've seen, just me personally, I actually go to a 3-5. I stack outside. I force 3 and 1 to run inside, and let's hopefully I got a linebacker that's strong enough to stop them inside. But they've eaten, and I mean eaten up yards on the outside.
Now, one of the things look at the depth of your backers. Look at the depth of the backers here. I don't like that. You don't need the safeties that high. Looks like we have a loose ball on the play.
Yeah, we got a scrubbish.
And Huffman is saying they got it. And they do. Yep. So, once again, something positive for Huffman, and that's they're coming out. Looks like we're going to have a different second half, folks. Now, I'm glad, hey, they had something positive come out behind it. But the safeties being that high, they're not passing the ball.
Right. But why are your safeties stacked that deep in the A gaps? However, you're covering both A gaps, both B gaps, and leaving the C gaps open. But that's where Big Bessemer's running. Big Bessemer's running out the C gaps available. So spread your defensive line out, spread your safeties out, force them inside, play a little containment.
That's right, because you got a free safety and a strong safety. Bring your strong up. If you want to leave one out there, that's fine, but bring your strong up.
That's right. Put them in the box. Bring them all in the box.
Because you got to do something to stop them.
But you got to extend that box. Bring everything into the box, but extend the box.
Now look at the Bessemer defense. What do you see?
Well, they got the box packed.
Absolutely they do.
And they're going to force you outside.
There's that backwards run, forcing that bubble again. Now he's going to get some positive yardage out there.
And there go that number 1 again.
I know, he brought out the hit stick.
Yes, sir. That's a man child. That's a man child.
Like I said, it could be Wheaties.
Yes.
What's some of them vitamins they be advertising late at night? I don't know.
Hey, he could have had the cornflakes this morning because he's great right now.
There you go. I love it.
Number 1 is putting on a show. Number 1 and number 3 is putting on a show. Well, actually, Big Bessemer all together.
And that big 0 has been in the middle.
Yes.
So let's see what happens this time here. They had a gain of 3 on the play. There they go, working the edge once again, stretching it out. He's got enough for the first. He's still on his feet, still going, and it's going to be another touchdown for Huffman.
Well, we said this was going to be a difference in halves.
And did I not say work the edges?
There you go.
There
work
they
the
go,
edges,
working
work
the
the
edge
second
once
half.
again, stretching it
We
out.
are definitely seeing a difference in this game.
Still going, and it's another touchdown for Huffman.
Conversion.
If this turns out to be a boat race, that can come back to haunt.
Yes, it will. It will, because now you just add an extra possession to this game, an extra score. I mean, like we said, unless they're kicking field goals.
Right, and Coach, throughout the years, we have always stressed your special teams, your PATs are important because they can be the difference between your ship sailing and sinking.
That is correct. That is correct.
So they're lined up, here they go, and their play is blown dead. We've got flags on the field, and that's a false start. And that is going to be a tough false start because you're already around the 5-yard line. Now you got to do it in 10 to get the conversion.
That's correct. That's correct. And from what we're being told, it was just resetting of the ball.
But you
Something
can't
simple.
do that.
Nah, can't do it. Can't pick the ball up off the ground. Even at this age.
But there's some positive things coming out here. So they're seeing what's working out. What's interesting is how does the Tiger defense adjust? All right, there they go. There's that little bit of a bubble on that run, trying to stretch it out, stays on his feet, and he's going to have the conversion.
Yes. Now, like I said, the difference in the halves
There it is.
is actually showing. My son actually trained there as well.
All right, we're coming out of the break, and we've got the teams lined up, and we've got a timeout taken by the Hurricanes.
So at this time, it's going to be a good chance for the Hurricanes to step back, and I guess let's reassess the situation and see exactly what's going to happen.
Well, the ball moved 5 yards, so it looked like we had an offsides by the Hurricanes. Well, maybe not. Nonetheless, and folks, you probably just saw that previous commercial with Step by Step Sports Training. You noticed DJ Dale was in there, one of our Clay Chalkville products, along with some other athletes that we have had the pleasure of watching throughout the years and watching them become successful at what they do. Big shout out to Step by Step Sports Training. They are a great sponsor of Clay Chalkville Athletics as well. So I just want to make sure I give them their shout out. I'm sure if they're watching right now, Coach L is listening. So I think now that we get this settled down, whatever we got going on down there. All right. Look at that Huffman defense. Is this the same defense we saw in the first half?
I don't know. I think they went to the sideline at halftime and gave him some candy. That's blow pops, jawbreakers, something, because these guys came out energized.
There's a loss of a yard on the play.
I mean, watching number 3 and number 1 has been stale. They've been stalled.
There's number 1. He's working his way up the middle. But this time they stayed home. They squared up with him and didn't let him shake him.
It's this game may come down to the last possession.
Well, now, it's 3rd and 7. So the Huffman defense is not the same one we witnessed in the first half.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Not by no means. This Huffman defense been fed hot sauce.
That's what it's looking like. Now they're looking for room. Oh, trying to square up on him.
Oh.
They got the angle. That's that big number 3. He's going to have a first down. He's going to get to the 46-yard line. But the key thing is that he did not get away.
Right, correct. They didn't put themselves in another deeper hole for us time with points.
Right. Now, I want to watch this next play here, and I keep saying this. Now he got a single high safety, and they ran straight to the middle, but they're trying to plug it up. Oh my goodness! Number 1 spins out of it, gets out of sight and out of mind, and he's going to take this one to the house.
Nope.
Oh no, he's not. I stand corrected.
That is how you do not give up on no play. For y'all older kids watching the game, do not give up on the play. Yes.
That is do not.
Now, here's the question I got for you, Coach Fred. 5 minutes left, fourth quarter. You got 3 timeouts. You down by 18, looks like. Got 2 timeouts. Is it time to start using them?
Yes. There's a flag on the play. Yeah, use them. Use them.
Because, I mean, this clock, you're down 18 points, and this clock is not going, this clock is merciless.
Right. Well, here's the thing. It was 32-0 going into the half. Okay? And I believe in this league, I think it's hot clock. So once you go hot clock, it's up to you to still manage those timeouts. Okay? You take that timeout. Personally, I would have taken a timeout after the previous play when they let him get outside and get that huge gain to the 47. Because what happened on that play is what happened on the last play. They lost vision, they lost their sight. You know, they thought they had him or squared him, and you got to keep playing. It's not over till the play is over, and it's so crucial right now because Bessemer's knocking at the door. Even if you stop them and you're deep in your own territory, you stop them and you have just an opportunity.
Yeah, you're right about that. I would have actually stopped them. I would have stopped them more than less. I mean, every time you get a second down and a beyond. Because you got to find a way to stop this number 1.
Well, that's it. It's a touchdown.
And I tell you, one thing I like about this number 1, I don't know if you watching the Coach Fred, but the kid, you're right about that. His feet never stop turning.
No,
I would have actually stopped him.
And that's what I said. Those jump cuts, the little things that he's patient. He follows the blockers. You can't, I mean, now, at 5 years old, you got to have your, you know, I'm not taking anything away from the coach, but you know what I'm saying? I told him that. No, hold on, man. That kid's been out there in the park, at school, at recess, running away from big brother, big sister, friends outside. That just comes from just being a kid.
Right, that comes from work.
Now, I'm not saying that there's no coaching involved, but what you do is you take advantage of that.
Right.
That's natural. That's natural individual
effort. Natural individual effort. That kid, dog, like I said, you're going to see him on Fridays. You're definitely going to see him on Fridays.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he's running like that and I'm still hanging around on Fridays,
Well, I'll make a deal with you there, Fred. You can have a running back. Let me get that line over at Trustful, because that line, man, has been dominant this entire game.
Now, don't be greedy.
Well, hey, I'm fat. What you expect?
Well, wherever these kids end up down the line, it's going to be fun to watch them. And, you know, if you know, because as time goes on, it's tough following the history because there's so many of these kids out there. And as we always said, Coach, you know, the pyramid shrinks as it goes higher. You know, some of these kids may not be playing football in high school, but it's fun to watch them now, and it's fun to see that they're involved. And it looks like the conversion is good. There's number 3, who's just going to power his way like he's done all game. You know.
Oh yeah.
Kids hanging off of him like Superman's cape.
And one thing I do want to tell you, and I know we're giving a lot of credit to the kids, especially for excessive celebrating. You know, hey, I understand that. I do it mostly for the coach. I you know, laying on the ground with the kids, but I just want to tell the kids thank you for having a good time. They could be doing a lot of things worse, you know?
Oh, yeah, and I mean, that's the bottom line is, you know, at the end of this game, and this is just me, I get those boys together and say, hey, look, you know, we came up a little short, but we got to play on the mountaintop.
I agree with you on that.
We got to play on the mountaintop. You know, I told some of the guys we lost the Spanish 4 to Clay Chalk. And even this year, after we lost to Parker, you know, they were upset. And I said, y'all are seniors, but you got to the mountaintop. Y'all were freshmen and got to the mountaintop. Y'all were sophomores and you've been to the mountaintop. So you know what you got to fix. Just go back and fix it.
That's right. That's right. And more important to me, and the biggest thing I take out of it, and I hope these kids understand, you learn how to fight for something that's important to you.
That's right.
You know, you gave passion. opposed to just sitting around and not giving passion. And with that being said, I mean, me, myself, I'm quite sure Fred want to say it as well. I want to give a big shout out to the EYFL for even having a league and giving these kids the opportunity to play.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, there's a number of different leagues in the area. It's fun watching all of them, and we want to thank EYFL for giving us an opportunity to come out here and call these games for them. You know, I mean, my weekends have been a little light the last, you know, because, you know, normally I'm sitting up here like, well, I know where I'm going to be after Thanksgiving. But, you know, this year is a little bit different. And so it's fun to get back in the booth and have another opportunity to do this. And so we appreciate the EYFL for giving us an opportunity to do that. And for you fans out there, we hope you're enjoying all of this banner and everything that's going on. You know, we've been friends for a long time. And, of course, anybody that's watched us, and there goes Huffman with a nice game. Wow, he cuts it back. Just when you think. He's still going, looking for some room. He's still going around the edge, still on his feet. I think he's running out of gas.
He's running out of gas. He's a little tired now.
He steps out of bounds.
But you have to give it to the kid for the run.
Yeah, and they're not giving up. That's number 2. He's been getting it done for him earlier. Flag on the field. And that one's going against the Tigers.
So can Miami Beach, these guys from Huffman, can they get one more in the end zone for the game over? What you think? Do you go for it?
I think they can. I mean, look, I don't care if there's 1 second left on the clock. Until the whistle blows, you play.
I agree with you. I say go ahead and push forward. Get it down close as you can.
And that unsportsmanlike conduct, that puts it inside the 10. Which is definitely going to make it easier for Huffman.
Unsportsmanlike on a 5-year-old, I really want to see what that was.
I don't think it was a 5-year-old. I think it was the coach.
Yeah, I can believe with the coach. I can go with the coach on that one. Now go to bootleg.
Yep, there it is. And there's
that's the dance.
There to get in. So Huffman gets on the board once again. And that's you keep fighting. You do not quit. To your point, you don't give up on the play. You don't give up on the game. As long as there's time on the clock.
That's it. You play to the whistle. When you play between the whistles, you play to the whistle. Great game, guys.
Well, there it is. And there's 0 on the clock. Well, the Tigers come away with the victory, 40-20 over the Hurricanes. Congratulations to the Bessemer City Tigers for Little Tigers, Cubs.
Yeah, the baby Cubs.
You know, they get that championship.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got to say Big Bessemer. I'm sorry.
Big Bill?
Big Bessemer.
Oh, Big Bessemer, okay.
There you go.
See, I always call him Little Bessemer. Then when the boys got big, I call him Big Bessemer when they got dead. And then, you know, whatever. Well, we're thrilled to death for them that they were able to pull it off after having a great season. Yeah. So we're going to have a short break. We're going to be back in about 5 minutes with the next contest. So it'll be online. So stay right here. Don't go anywhere. There's a lot of good football remaining throughout the day. So 6U is coming up next, and we'll be right back.